Hey YouTubers, it's the Kappa Convict bringing you another video. Hi guys, this is a tech video, yes, to help those people out who are still struggling with the xpadder 5.7. Now I've had a couple of people contact me. One is Jerry here, and he's basically saying that his right thumbstick is acting like his left thumbstick for some reason, and he's having a lot of issues. Well Jerry, this video is for you and for anybody else who was having problems in the past. And I do apologize to anyone who did get in contact during the time of my internet connection being absolute garbage and having the problem with the phone line. I wasn't unfortunately able to get back in contact with, so I do apologize, and I have been getting pretty busy obviously trying to maintain the videos on the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's get it on. So I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do. So I'm going to put a link in the description below, so you don't need to follow this part. On this video you're watching right now, go to the bottom in the description and the link will be there. But I'm just going to go back to my previous video, as you can see here, and I'm just going to actually copy and paste the link already in, and that'll load up Mega Upload, and then you want to download through your browser. So just click on that, then it'll take a moment, and that's decrypting, and there you go. So it's called AlexRa. So you go on this and you can then extract, and if you want to put it into a folder you can do. I'm going to put it into this one. It's supposed to be test, but it's more like test for some reason, and I'm going to put it in there. So once you've done that, you can minimize that and get rid of that and go up to the folder that you've created, and there you go. So there's xpadder 5.7, so you click on it and that is what you want. If you're using Windows 10 like me, then you need to go here, then you need to go to properties, then you need to go to compatibility, and you want to run this in compatibility mode for Windows 7, and then apply and OK that. So once you've done that, you won't have any problems. If you are having problems opening it and it says it can't open it, again, go to compatibility mode, because I can't say it, and put it as Windows 7. So double click it now and it shouldn't have any problems opening up. So I'm just going to give it a moment, and there you go. So you get this little box here saying you use this program at your own risk. The program has been fully tested during development, but there are no guarantees that this is a fault, free of any faults. The author cannot accept any responsibility to any damage of any kind if this program does do anything like that. And it's never done that to me, so jobs are good. So you click on Start, and then it'll say the program is commercial and not to be sold or shared in any way. This program is unavailable directly from xpadder.com. Well, it's not, because I've already got the link on there. The xpadder program name, logo, interface, design, website, xpadder, all copyright of Jonathan Firth. Okay, so click OK, and then it'll ask you what language. I'm obviously English, and click Start, and then it's going to ask you where you want to put the location of xpadder. So as you can see, it's going to be users on my desktop, in test, and xpadder. So just click Start. Now it's going to ask the default save and open location. So I want to have it as the program's location. So it's going to be basically in this test file. Okay, add the associations to Windows. This program can associate with its files with the program file, for example, profile files, and display a special icon can be double clicked. So anything basically that can be associated would obviously run through this. I'm going to put do not associate because I don't really want it to associate with anything else. And now you can see it's searching. So this is my Xbox One controller, and you need a data cable of some sort. Now this is just a general one, but I would say only get one that transmits data and power, because sometimes you can get these leads and they're just for power only. Make sure it is a data cable, and then plug that in to the top of your Xbox One controller, if I can do that, like so, and the light should come on. Can you see the white light has come on? And there's also a prompt, and if I move this slightly out of the way, it's just a Microsoft visual. I don't know why, but for some weird reason, my Microsoft, which is to do with the controller, is acting up a little bit. Just ignore that if you do get that, because it doesn't do anything. Then now you come up with this. So if you click here and you put new, you will get another screen. And as you can see, there's nothing in here, but we need to add a controller to this so we can use it with the program. So you go to your Windows, Google, Chrome, whatever you're using. Go to an open page, which is Google for me, and then put xpadder images, like so. Then search. Then at the top here, you can see all these different links. Go to images and click on that. And you'll get all these images. Now the images need to be 512 by 256. So 512 by 256. As you can see, and I'm going to choose this one because it is the Xbox One. And view image. And now right click, go to copy image, leave it open just and go down to here where it says paste, and then click paste, and that's what should happen. If that's successful, then you can now get rid of this window. And yep, I want to leave because I don't need that anymore. And here we go. So this is what you should have. You should have two windows, and it's this one that we mainly want to focus on. So now we've got the image, we go to where it says sticks. And you can see there's two icons here that say enabled. You click on the left enabled, and now it's telling you need to do something. So it's saying you need to push left on your controller. So left, and then push up. As you can see, left and up. Now you can see that's recognizing that left side there. And now if we go to the right hand side, it will say it again. Press left and up. And now I can control that one. Okay, so once you've done that, you can then go down to D-pad and click enable. And now again on the D-pad here, press up, down, left and right. If that's done successful, now when I'm pressing on here, as you can see, it is mimicking what I'm actually doing on here. Okay, and then go to buttons. Now all you need to do is basically just map all your buttons. Just press all your buttons. So press them all, and as you can see, the icons are coming up. Anything on there, even pressing your thumbstick in like a button. Press that thumbstick in like a button. Up, down, left, right. Anything that makes a button on, apart from the back triggers, are the only ones that won't. But we'll map them later because you'll see what I mean by that. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to actually map these onto our controller here. What I like to do is put them in order so that when I want to use them, I can configure them without going which one's this and then having to press the keys like that to try and find which button does what. As you can see, they're all over the place. So I'm going to start with Y, and I'm going to move that icon over there. As you can see, it's doing it on the right hand side as well. And then B is right over here. X is here. And A is there. Now the right thumbstick is this one, so that one's to be there. That is my D-pad. And that one is to go there. You'll go there. Up there. That's in the right place. You want to be up there. So I'll just move you up in place where you should be. And you should be in there. And I do believe that's the wrong one, isn't it? Yep. Let's put that there. And last but not least, obviously that one is going to be there. And I'm just going to test that. Make sure it is right. As you can see, it is right. There we go. So now when I press the buttons, they should correspond with what I'm doing here. As you can see, they're all corresponding correctly. There we go. And the last but not least is to go down to triggers and click and just press left and right, and that's it. That's all you need to do. And then once you press OK, that's it. You can now map all your keys onto this controller. So that's the hard part done, guys. You can then go up here, you can save it. If you click on save, it will actually ask you the file name. You could call it whatever you want. You can save it wherever you want, and then it will remember it as well. You can do the same for the profile, and there's some other pieces up here which I'm going to show you in a moment as well. So when you're actually mapping your thumbstick on the left, you don't actually do anything with that. You don't put any buttons in unless it's a game that requires you to put W, S, A and D, which the culling doesn't do that, but there is some games out there that won't work with the controller, or they don't seem to recognize it, so you may have to map it. Generally you don't have to. Now the right thumbstick, which is this one here, as you can see, you do need to map this one, especially for the culling, because it's too dang slow if you don't do it. So if you press on the little tool here, it'll bring you to these icons. So if you go to where it says mouse normal and click on that, it'll actually activate this. Now if I move my right thumbstick, can you see it's moving my mouse around the screen? So this is going to act as my mouse. Now I know also with the culling that some of the functions don't work. So if I wanted to push with my right thumbstick, it wouldn't do that. It would be this button up here. As you can see, I'm demonstrating on the screen there. That makes you push, and then the back trigger makes you do the block, and then the right trigger makes you do the strike if you're using the culling. But I like it to be this one, so I actually map that as Q. So now when I press the button that you can see flashing, that will actually make you push, do the push feature in the culling. And I'm also going to map this as well. Now I've put it down as end so that it recognizes. So if I go to pick up a stone and craft, if I press this button, as you can see flashing once again, it will actually pick up and it will craft. And what I also do is with a flat pad, I use these two icons here. Now this is your mouse. So if you press that down button and then press that as up, when I'm going through and pressing up and down, I'm actually cycling up and down through my weapons again for the culling. I'm using culling as an example because I'm actually going to play a little bit of the practice of the culling just to demonstrate this. Another feature you can do as well, I've noticed sometimes with the mouse, it can be a little bit difficult to use sometimes. I find sometimes that you might look up a bit too quick and down a bit too quick. Well, you can actually customize these. If you go to the bottom where it says mouse settings, you'll get this, and you can emulate the speed. If you look at the right green box on the right, it's showing you how fast it is moving. As you can see, it's pretty dang fast. So sometimes if you're playing a game and you want to be pretty dang accurate, that's a bit too fast for me. So what I actually do is come here and I change it about a bit. Now I change this roundabout to 21, and this one I usually put down a little bit lower to about 16, and I leave that. You can click this box and both these sliders will move together. So now when I move, as you can see, that seems to me a little bit more manageable if you're playing games. As you can see, the house there moving, and it's not too fast that it's absolutely crazy that I can't keep up with it. You don't need to touch anything else on there, so just press the X and that will get rid of that. You can come up and press the toolbar again on your triggers, and you can see you can actually choose how responsive your triggers are on top. As you know, sometimes in such as like Call of Duty, if you were to press it, it wouldn't activate straight away. You'd have to be about halfway through pressing and then it would do it, which I think would probably mean that the dead zone is more like over there, 15, maybe 20%, which means that if you were to press anywhere at the beginning like that, can you see it staying red? And then it turns to green. As it turns to green, that means it's now reacting to what I'm pressing. So I'd have to press beyond, and in the red would mean that it would ignore. If I was to move the responsiveness up to the top, if I was to accidentally tap this, it would make me block. it would make me do the action or whatever it is you programmed it in. So do use this with caution, because obviously the more responsive means if you accidentally knock something and you don't mean to, you could throw something away or do something that you don't want to do. You may want to actually turn the responsiveness down a little bit. So if you do tap it, it won't react straight away. But that is completely up to you. I like the high responsiveness of that, to be honest. So once you've done that, that's it, guys. That's all you need to do. And obviously you can save it. I'm just going to save this as, I'm just going to put the word test and spell it correctly this time and save that and put OK. So I'm now going to open up a game and I'm going to demonstrate to you. So I'm just going to quickly jump into a game of the culling and just show you this working. So I'm just going to minimize that out of the way now. And then I'm going to show you. So that's how you do it, guys. And it should work. There should be no problems. You shouldn't have your right thumbstick as you move about or anything like that. As you can see, I can still control the mouse on the screen. And you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. If you do, let me know in the comments below. But really, if you follow this tutorial like I've just shown you, you should not have any issues at all. So as you can see, I can still control my mouse. So I'm still in control of what I'm doing as regards to looking left, right, up and down. Make sure you, for instance, Alt and Tab it, and you've still got the arrow in the screen. It sometimes won't recognize that you've actually clicked onto the screen. So you do need to click on this screen and it should do what you've just noticed before, where the arrow disappeared, then it came back. That means that it's focusing on this game and not like as if it's invisible in the background, doing something in the background. So just bear with me, I'm just going to wait for it to load up. Okay, so I just want to play and want to go to practice. Okay, just going to wait for it to load up. You have to bear with me. Because when you're using Elgato with this, because my setting's on really high, it will take just a little bit longer to actually load it up. So you have to bear with it. Okay. So just got to wait for the counter to time down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And there you go. So as you can see, I can now turn left and right. Now if it had been before, you can still use your controller, but it would have been like this. That's as fast as I would have been able to turn left and right. It would have been really slow. But as you can see now, I can turn quick. I can even demonstrate once again. If you go into options, not options, sorry, controls. If I was to turn that up really high and then escape out of that. As you can see, it turns really, really quick now. I can turn extremely fast, left and right. So I'm just going to escape, go back to controls, and I want to put it back down to about S. There we go. A nice speed. And as you can see, I've got all the buttons here. They all work. And the right thumbstick now pushes. As before, that wouldn't do that. It would be actually this button up here to push. And I've used X as well. So I should now to be able to pick up an item, as you can see, using my X button. And we'll go to somewhere else. Run over here. Where's that funk? Okay, it's here. Using X, as you can see, I can now pick up an item. And you can throw, punch, block, jump, crouch, teabag somebody. And there you go. That's how you do it, guys. So hopefully this has helped you out. Let me just cancel out of this and go back to the options. So I hope that helps you out, guys. You shouldn't have any problems. That's how you set it up. Just double check your setup that you have set it correctly. If the right thumbstick is acting as you move forward and backwards, maybe you've accidentally swapped them around by accident, or maybe you've knocked it during the actual setting up of whatsoever. If you do it that way, hopefully this will help you out, guys, and we'll get that obviously up and running, because we don't want it to not, and for you to have any problems. And there you go, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you today, guys. So that's my tech video from your boy, the Kappa Convict. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if this does help you out. And as always, guys, I salute you. See you next time.